Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. Bitcoin is a leading indicator of hidden geopolitical tensions, according to a former executive at German multinational investment bank Deutsche Bank. Peter Cheer, Forbes contributor and a former executive director at Deutsche Bank, stated that Bitcoin price movements could be a potential signal of what is going behind the scenes on Chinese trade talks in a Forbes article that was published a few days ago. In the article, Cheer provided his observations of the correlation between Bitcoin's price and major news in the industry. He cites his previous research, claiming that Bitcoin surged in May as U.S. President Donald Trump revealed that a trade deal with China was looking tenuous. Cheer says that Bitcoin's price has significantly correlated with the headlines for the past few days. The analyst added that Bitcoin's USD price has been dropping amid progression talks and rising amid negative headlines. He references a recent tweet by Trump who said China lost 5 million jobs and 2 million manufacturing jobs due to the new tariffs. However, Cheer noted that the Bitcoin price now appears to be not rising slower on today's headlines and does not react as much as stocks. He wrote, and I do quote, "Is this a sign that the Chinese elite know their headlines are more negative than the reality of the situation? It isn't a clear enough signal, but for now, I think Bitcoin is hinting that there is no alarm in China, which is positive," end quote. While admitting that there are a lot of factors impacting Bitcoin's price, Cheer concluded that Bitcoin's value as a leading indicator into behind-the-scenes geopolitical tension should not be ignored. Earlier today, Morgan Creek, the guy Pompliano, was talking about companies in countries embracing Bitcoin. That's not the most important part. Very fascinating because we used to see Bitcoin has always been a bit of an indicator as to exactly what's happening during worldwide events. Bitcoin is mostly where it is right now because of a lot of the other stuff that was happening over the last couple of years. Any type of, not even just trade talks, anything that was actually really not doing well, especially when we heard of all of the indications that we had from Venezuela and all these other countries who were having hyperinflation and the amount of people who were actually buying up even just fragments of Bitcoin, the price was also going up. We also had this a couple of years ago, I think when the situation happened in Cyprus, Bitcoin was also shooting up in value. So we've definitely seen, but now it appears to be more of an indicator. I was wondering if, I assume it was bound to happen, and we would get into a situation where worldwide events would have an actual movement in price on Bitcoin, because a lot of the movements in the beginning for Bitcoin were people simply buying it up as a speculative, let me buy this as a just in case the price ends up going back up. But now since we have a lot more people from the traditional financial world who are in the cryptocurrency space, who typically, sometimes, usually, base their price metrics and if they're going to buy or sell their stocks or anything else based off of how well an economy is going, that eventually, I guess, Bitcoin would have been moved into this category as well. As far as if things are going bad in the world and Bitcoin usually goes up during bad events in the world, it's clear that eventually Bitcoin would probably then perform a lot better, as more negative things were happening in the world. I find it always very fascinating when, whether they be bankers or former bankers or any type of actual acknowledgement of Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency space actually ends up making it into headlines, because we've had before so many amazing things happening in the cryptocurrency space. No one on the traditional news outlets usually talks about it, but whenever they end up bringing it up and they say that Bitcoin, whether it be the other guy that, what was it, the guy from the Fed, I think it was, who said that Bitcoin and gold were both stores of value, or even just talking about that you can't ignore Bitcoin in geopolitics. It's very interesting. It shows us exactly where the world is moving, where we are, how far we've come, and just how awesome that the cryptocurrency space is, because everyone's taking notice of it right now. Here's the actual article right here. It says Bitcoin may be a leading indicator of geopolitical tensions. This was written on Forbes. So let's move on. So we were talking about this in the last video. The people from the New York Stock Exchange, TD Ameritrade, I think Google and someone else announced that they're launching something called The Pit, which apparently is going to be an app where you're going to be able to trade cryptocurrencies back and forth. In the last video, I was saying there was no indication as to exactly what was going to be on their platform, i.e. they had mentioned that there were going to be 26 different assets rolling out over the next 2 weeks. Oh, even the other article, holy cow. even the other article, there we go, didn't have the actual indication of the 2 weeks, and also didn't have any information for the 26 assets. So when you do a little bit of digging around, I found on their website the actual 26 pairs they were talking about are going to be available for trading within the next couple of weeks. It's nothing spectacular. It's the same boring coins that everyone always ends up listing. And even more so, when they said pairs, they meant just against like other fiat currencies. So we have Bitcoin to US dollar, Ether to US dollar, Bcash to US dollar, Litecoin to US dollar, Pax to US dollar, Tether to US dollar, Bitcoin to Euro, Ether to Euro, Bitcoin Cash to Euro, Litecoin to Euro, Tether to Euro, Pax to Euro, and you get the trend. And all the rest of it just goes down to the British pound. So I was expecting something a bit more fireworksy. Didn't work out in my favor. I was assuming it would be like other coins, but maybe they're trying to do it very slow and steady wins the race. Bitcoin and Ether at this point are relatively, they're not securities in the eyes of the United States. Bcash is usually in a lot of places because of the way, I think, I forgot what the argument was for Bcash. I think because it's not that it's decentralized enough, but it has some of the same metrics as Bitcoin, and therefore it just doesn't fit under any category of being a security or otherwise. Litecoin is also in the same exact thing, as it is ripped from the source code of Bitcoin, is old enough, and therefore yada yada. But then we also have Pax and Tether, which are stable coins. So this is why they're also and also USD, yeah, what have you. So like I said, I thought it was going to be a bit more exciting. I was so happy when I found the list. I was like, what coins do they have? It's the same coins. I think it says it's somewhere around here that they plan on listing more coins in the near future. I would assume it's probably XRP, maybe Stellar. I think Cardano and Tron are probably not going to be on it. I feel like there's still some regulatory something happening behind the scenes with them. And what was the other coin? I mean, I'm usually only thinking of XRP and Stellar as being listed on multiple other platforms. I would not be surprised if we end up getting, because they said that they're trying to what's the word? Compete against Binance and Coinbase. If we see some Tezos or pretty much any of the other coins that Coinbase has on their platform just kind of being thrown into the pit. Anyway, like I said, not that exciting. I was more excited when I found the list, but apparently it's just a whole bunch of fiat pairings. Kind of cool, amazing, awesome. Anyway, let's move on. Another crypto exchange is here. The regulated spot and futures crypto exchange known as Kraken announced a wire service through Etana custody that will allow users to transact in US dollars, euros, Canadian dollars, British pounds, and Japanese yen from anywhere in the world. Though the new feature is available immediately to Kraken Intermediate and Pro clients, access across nearly 180 countries, it requires users to create an Etana custody wallet. Additionally, users' bank accounts will be linked to the wallet, which will be topped off through wires that can then take up to 1 to 5 days to process, according to the company blog. From there, however, the Etana wallet is instantaneously connected with the user's Kraken account and will support free and expedient transfers. So, I mean, we don't typically get a lot of fiat news on a daily basis, but I think this is kind of interesting. There are a number of cryptocurrency exchanges, a number of them. The major ones, it's mainly Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, blah, 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 who are trying to, my goodness, what's wrong with my throat? Who are trying to be banks in some sort of way. So what it seems like they're trying to do is to allow you to be able to deposit money, fiat, onto their platform, and you can swap this fiat back and forth with other users as opposed to having to go through like a wire transfer. It's kind of cool. It's kind of weird. Kraken is and remains one of the very first cryptocurrency exchanges that actually allowed people to put money on their platform in the first place. I think you were able to put US dollars, euros, and I think British pounds and something else. I want to say yen. Onto their platform before just about any other platform. So, I mean, it's kind of cool, the fiat funding and stuff like that on their website, but still a little odd. But this is the news that's making the rounds at the moment. Next up, Binance is in the news. So we go from the pit to Kraken all over to Binance. Binance's CEO, his name is Changpeng Zhao, thinks that the next altcoin season will have a better outcome than 2017's. If you can remember 2017's altcoin season, it went insane. XRP went from half a cent to $3.60. Litecoin went from $4 to like 300, something around there. Ether went from $8 to 1,300. It was quite a nice season for altcoins. Zhao says he believes the industry has matured and investing in altcoins won't be as haphazard or random as it was 2 years ago. Here's the actual tweet right here from him. A recent report from CoinShares recent research team shows that so far the market has not been cooperating with predictions for an altcoin season. They said the market has mercilessly denied calls for a customary alt season, while Bitcoin's price rally has stolen all of the attention, at least so far this year. Despite many altcoins being significantly up from their respective bottoms, crypto opportunity cost is measured in Bitcoin, and nearly all altcoins have lost sustainability to Bitcoin so far in 2019. A chart from CoinMarketCap indicates Bitcoin has gained around 15% advantage points, or percentage points, as vantage points. Oh, okay, anyway, of the industry's total market cap since the beginning of April, moving from 50% dominance to its current level of 65% dominance of the entire market. People have been stating since March that we were going to have an altcoin season, i.e., as Bitcoin goes up, every other coin would also follow. This has been the way that the market has moved for the last, well, there weren't really altcoins around like 8 years ago. Let's say 7.5, 6 and something quarter and a change and 3/4 years ago. Every time Bitcoin moved up by 5%, altcoins went up by around 24%. This is just how things were on a constant basis, but we have not seen that this year. It was widely expected that once Bitcoin recovered, altcoins would also recover. This has semi been the case. Some of the biggest winners thus far, I think, this year have been Litecoin because of the halving, Ether because there's a lot of talk about Ether being like the new kid on the block once again and, you know, being really cool, blah, 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 blah. But XRP, Stellar, Cardano, Tron, Neo, a lot of other coins have been suffering. And it's really interesting because these are also incredibly popular coins. It's not even like these coins aren't like used or known by a lot of people, but the fact that these coins have not gone up at all or by like 6% has a lot of people questioning exactly what's going to happen should Bitcoin start to skyrocket, because what we've seen before is that Bitcoin, as Bitcoin was going up the last couple of weeks and months, the Satoshi prices of coins were going down, which means that people were actually selling their altcoins, push more into Bitcoin. One of the other things that people have been saying is that as we have not hit our bottom of bottoms that we hit before, i.e. XRP is not half a cent anymore. Cardano's not, what was it? I don't even know what the price of Cardano is. It's not where it was before. That we moved up significantly. This is where we're getting, or where we got all of those really crazy price predictions in 2018. For those of you who are not here, I think I can remember some of the numbers. I think the price predictions for a lot of the coins were, I think XRP was hitting $15. I think it was Cardano hitting, I think $3 or $4. I think that was the number that was kind of thrown around because I think Cardano ended up hitting $1.20 before. And I think Cardano's, what is like 7 cents, 8 cents, somewhere around there. I think Stellar was supposed to hit $2, somewhere around there. Tron was expected to hit anywhere from 50 cents to $1. But none of that has transpired, and people thought that that was all. I mean, like I always say, crypto is a very fascinating marketplace space in general. People were definitely expecting that by now, or rather, even as we, because, you know, if Bitcoin is 3,000 and it hits around 14,000, which is relatively close to 20,000, the other coins would probably be reflecting similar numbers, i.e., we'd have an XRP of around $1.50 by now. Tron would be around 20 cents. Cardano would be around 65 cents. None of that has happened. So we still get altcoin season calls, but we had, you can even Google it. You can Google altcoin spring. Didn't happen. People were saying that there was going to be an altcoin summer, which has not happened. And we are very close. It is already August. We are very close to autumn. And I'm sure we're going to get calls for an altcoin autumn. Who knows when it's going to happen? Like, really, who knows? I still think that this will happen. I think, first of all, I think Bitcoin is still the name of the game, obviously. But I think what it's going to take is indications from the major players who are going to be launching this year as to exactly which coins they're going to be having on their platform. That's where I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I found the almost said the golden sauce. It's not a thing. Or golden ticket that also doesn't match. It's pretty much I was looking for exactly which coins the people from the New York Stock Exchange. Who was it? TD Ameritrade. Oh gosh, there was another big name. Anyway, the point is I was looking for big names to see exactly which coins they were going to be listing. Didn't find it. It'll happen eventually. I don't personally think that all altcoins are going to make it. I think around number 15 forward are going to do fairly well. I think a lot of Bitcoin forks are not going to do very well. And I think other coins that are closely associated with Ethereum are going to get the runoff from its price going up. But prepare yourself, because I've definitely seen a couple of people talking about their love for coin number 229 and coin number 116 and coin number... And like, okay, anyway. Let's move on. Next up, crypto trader Tyler Swope says Bitcoin whales are increasingly manipulating the market this summer. He said, taking a look at Bitcoin's price chart over the past 2 weeks, it's easy to get a sense of what is currently going on in the chart. It's extremely choppy, showing multiple pump and dumps and pumps, and flash crashes galore. This is total manipulation in the range between $9,000 and $11,000. And the whales are initiating and capitalizing on the short-term volatile price swings, end quote. He points to a sudden drop in the price of Bitcoin across all exchanges on Sunday as the most recent example. After trading above $9,500 all day, the price of Bitcoin suddenly dropped to $9,200 and propped back up to $9,500 all in just over an hour. Here's the actual chart right here. For those who are not looking at it, a little chasm, it's a little fissure, it's a little hole in the ground that opened up and then was completely gone a couple of minutes later. According to Swope, the dump was performed on Bitfinex, where the price sank to nearly $9,100 US. He said, why did this happen? Well, as we know, Bitfinex also has margin trading on their exchange, and the whale probably associated with the exchange pulled off a classic bear trap, wrecking a ton of positions on that exchange. They wanted to liquidate, number one, any longs that would be due for liquidation at that price, and number two, to lure other less experienced traders into their manipulation, thinking the market was going to sell off or falling off of a cliff. Thus, those traders immediately opened up short positions on the exchange. The whale then immediately started buying, forcing traders to close out their positions at a loss. Pretty much what that means is you fake a drop. Everyone thinks it's going to continue dropping, that something has happened in the news, something has happened. Oh my gosh, what could possibly be going on? Bitcoin's definitely heading down for $7,000. Everyone starts selling. That person has a buy order, and everyone starts, as they sell, he buys it up again at this price, and the price immediately shoots back up to where it went before. So he has made potentially millions of dollars, while other people have sold off fragments or entire Bitcoin that they had before. Kind of evil. This has been happening a lot. You can even see the other charts right here. I noted and mentioned before in a couple of other videos, there are a lot of people, there's a lot of money in this space right now. There's a lot of, it's not just normal people trading. There are a lot of people who have, or who keep indicating that they think that Bitcoin could be a worldwide currency. And that drives a lot of people mad, in that if you hear that you have the potential to get millions of dollars worth of something that could potentially be worth millions of dollars itself one day, and you could potentially be one of the richest people on this planet, or even more richer than you already are, you're going to do whatever you can to kind of accumulate more. And this is what I think has been happening for a couple of months. I think it's been happening for a while now. And I think it's only going to get crazier as time ends up going on, especially as we end up getting more trading platforms out there for people to be able to trade and accumulate cryptocurrencies. I myself don't trade anymore. I find it pointless simply because of the amount of manipulation. I just simply buy and hold, because all the short-term fluctuations, they can be a lot to deal with. I had a lot of friends who were actively trading, and they kept on getting caught in things like this. Thought they were doing something correct. They were losing thousands a day, and it drops the morale a lot. So if you believe in your heart of hearts that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space is going to continue to do very well over the next couple of years, I wouldn't use the word advise. I would say it's probably best to just simply accumulate as opposed to trading, because it is also widely believed that we are probably going to see the world's first trillionaires on this planet within the next 10 to 15 years, and they will probably come from the cryptocurrency space. So there's a lot at stake. It's no longer, I remember when I was a kid and I thought that like being a thousandaire was a lot. I was like, whoa. And then you learn about millionaires, you're like, my goodness, that's crazy. And then you hear that they are billionaires and that the world could see the first trillionaires. People are definitely desperate to make sure that they're the first ones or even the second or the third one to have that title. Let's move on. To kind of finish things off, this is the weirdest photo in the entire world. For those of you who are not looking at the screen, it says CEO Brian Armstrong updates Coinbase's secret master plan. The photo that they used for this article is a guy picking up a girl who's wearing a hat that says Queen, and he has a sweatshirt that says King while she looks at her phone smiling. I don't know what correlation that has to Brian Armstrong or a secret master plan, but kudos to them for using a photo that just doesn't make any sense in a new video. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong revamps the company's secret master plan, which was published 3 years ago. In the initial report published on the 7th of September 2016, Armstrong wrote, and I do quote, "At Coinbase, we are passionate about creating an open financial system for the world. By open, we mean not controlled by any one country or company, just like the internet. We believe there will be 4 major phases, which we compare here to the internet. It is protocols, Bitcoin and Ether. They plan on reaching 1 million people. Number 2 is infrastructure, exchanges and secure storage. They plan on reaching 10 million people. The next one is the consumer interfaces, browsers, user-controlled wallets. Plan on reaching 100 million people. And number 4 in that phase would be decentralized applications, Web 2.0, Finance 2.0, which is expected to reach around 1 billion people. At the time, Armstrong believed the industry was nearing the end of phase 2, with phase 4 marking the launch of several types of blockchain-based products and services, including loans, remittances, and merchant processing. While the industry has progressed to phase 4 and Coinbase's core strategy hasn't changed, to create an open financial system that will create or increase the amount of economic freedom in the world, Armstrong says an update to the master plan is in order given the many changes in today's crypto landscape. He said this is one of the first times we've shared this with an external audience. The vision for Coinbase is that we will actually bend this curve and materially change the economic freedom of the entire world by what we're going to build. The people from Coinbase are incredibly confusing. When I first got into the cryptocurrency space, I think Coinbase opened around 2012. 2013, somewhere around that. I remember they were relatively new when I got into the space. They believed in a very Bitcoin-centric world, that Bitcoin was going to change the world, economic freedom, economic sovereignty. Everyone can have a piece. We can all be happy. We can all be rich. We can all be successful and all have money in our pockets. As time went on, I'm sure a lot of you noticed as well, the people from Bitcoin, from Coinbase, became very anti-Bitcoin. There was news that Brian Armstrong was supporting Bcash, and then we had indications, I mean, especially last year, that they were talking about that Ethereum was going to take over the world. Ethereum was going to be the only coin. They believed Ethereum was going to be so-and-so. And the last couple of weeks have been kind of odd. These other tabs up here as well. Coinbase has added 8 million new users in the past year. I think they have 50 million users on their platform or something like that. But Coinbase has also been trying to get banking licenses. This was in 2018. I'm pretty sure that they have some of them already. And they were also trying to get security licenses as well. The last couple of weeks, the people from Coinbase, I don't know if they drank something. I don't know what's going on with them. But they've come forward talking about that they're trying to change Coinbase. That they're trying to make sure that they expand in ways that they never thought of expanding before for this type of new world economic inclusion thing. The weirdest part is that they appear to be trying to siphon people. No, that's not correct. Corral people, to lead people to kind of just their platform to be the kind of end all for what people will need for the cryptocurrency space. They have custody solutions, i.e. a bank. You know, you can kind of leave your coins with them the same way you can leave your money with the bank. They have cryptocurrencies on their platform, which is supposed to be the new form of fiat. They're trying to create, they're trying to become like a really weird bank, and I don't know exactly what they're doing because the people from Coinbase about 1.5 years, 2 years ago were definitely, it was fairly certain that they were only there for the money and that they weren't trying to really do anything else except for trying to build up stuff. And remember, 2018, what was the phrase that we kept on hearing? Institutional investors. Institutional investors. No more retail investors, institutional investors. The people from Coinbase launched about 14 things last year, and none of them had to do with retail investors. Retail investors being me, you, he, she, we, you, it, I, they, all of us, normal people who aren't multi-quadrillionaires. Everything was focused just on rich people, but for some reason they've changed their tune. Now they're trying to talk about that they want to be more inclusive and they want everyone around the world to be able to have access to this new global financial system, especially people who are not as rich as other people. I don't know. You kind of, what's the phrase? It's like, I want to see you do it, because hearing you say it doesn't mean that you're actually going to pull it off. But as of right now, this is what they're saying that they're trying to do. They're trying to be more inclusive. I wonder what was the catalyst for them trying to change their secret master plan. I assume it's money, but maybe, no. I was going to say, maybe, this is a weird photo. I was going to say maybe they're trying to do something nicer. I don't know. I get kind of weirded out whenever people say things like this, because it's kind of like, you were saying something very different last year. But anyway, Coinbase is going to continue to grow regardless of what actually ends up happening. I'm fairly certain, don't be shocked in like 2 years if we end up getting news that Coinbase is basically a bank, or that you start seeing physical Coinbase locations around, or if Coinbase actually ends up launching crypto ATMs. Don't be shocked. Not even 1%. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Strange Radio Central, Damien, Bankroll Network, Master Ventures in Thailand, 242 to the World, Triple M&J, My Keto Kitchen, Assam Mezolfri, Adobo, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Crypto, Joe Mohair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savage, Rai Ra, Yasha Harari, Amy Starchin, Jeffrey Ramsey, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Goldie 3D, Nicholas One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Tom Sucks a Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day, Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Garner, Minty Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick, Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, and Mechanic. I did it. Kind of. Almost in one breath. Thank you all very much for watching and or listening. The market's still all over the place. Always a very weird news cryptocurrency day, but I love delivering it. I love talking about it. It's very fascinating to go through this journey. Everyone out there, hope you all enjoy your day, and I will most certainly. Why is Bitcoin Diamond? Oh, I mean, pump and dumps. Yeah, of course. I wonder how much. Never mind. Not gonna even say it. Not gonna even say it. Has $4.1 million. 4.6 million in 24-hour volumes. I'm pretty certain we know what's happening. It just drives me crazy when, like, imagine if people just stopped holding terrible coins like Bitcoin Diamond and just simply put that money into like the top 10 coins. What a different market we would have. But it's a learning process, if nothing else. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.